Let's go.
Feel the drums pulsating, the energy so strong.
Thank you all for joining. Today's going to be an exciting time, folks. Let's go. All right. If you don't mind, just let's chat and see how many of us are here. Let's go. All right. What part of the world are you logging in from? Let's see. Hi, Zeta. Hi, Dave. Hi, Ade. Hi, Shenas. Let's go, folks. This will be fun. We'll kick off in the next 2 minutes. Thank you all for taking the time to join. Thank you.
Let the beat guide your way. Unlock your potential. Seize the day. From the dance floor to the boardroom.
All right. Thank you, Shenas from Bangalore, India. Thank you, Tega from US. I did North America. Let's go. Thank you, Dave from Canada. What part of the world are you? Let's go. Maryland, Chicago in the house. Let's go, folks. Love it. All right. Where are my Dallas folks? Let's go. Texas, UK in the house. Maryland in the house. Thank you all. Thank you all. Hi, Femi. UK in the house, too. Let's go. VA, Virginia. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Tolu. Thank you all. Thank you, Dave. Let's just give everybody else a minute and we get started. Thank you, Trinidad and Tobago. Diane, thank you. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you. All right, that's awesome. Thank you, Chicago again. If you don't mind, just smash the like button. Let's get more people to join the platform real quick. Thank you, everybody. All right, Philly in the house. Thank you, Philly. Our goal is to make the next few minutes one of the most eventful and impactful time of your day. So let's go. 30 seconds to go to showtime. Thank you, Philly. And just ping everybody else and let them know we are live right now. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you all. New York in the house. Thank you, Saki. Thank you. From the dance floor to the boardroom, let your light shine, shine. Skillweed Academy. All right. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much, everybody. All right. Let's get started. All right. Thank you, everybody. Welcome on board, everybody. It's a delight and a pleasure to have you on board. There are many great things you can be doing on a midday, and you decided to hang out with us. So we want to say thank you. Thank you so much, everybody. So in the next few minutes, we have the privilege and the honor of having one of the largest platform in the world around mentorship, and they've been very impactful to different countries, different states across the world. So it is so much exciting for us as a community at Skillweed, and we've been privileged to have them as our partners in the area of mentorship, which is a huge piece of our community right now. And some key areas that we've seen all over the world that we thought was so important for anyone, any professional to strive and have a meaningful impact globally. Some of those areas we can all agree. Artificial intelligence is a big one out there. We have the power of AI, which everybody is talking about crazy. We have sustainability, which is a huge one out there right now. I got to know actually from our mentor Sally that hey, it's actually one of the fastest growing field in the world. And finance, entrepreneurship, real estate, it's just a dream come true for our platform. Really, it's a space we can have people that are the best in the world, the brightest in their field, to come together and run us through a journey in the next couple of months. So we are excited about it. So without further ado, I have up with me Sally Han in the house.
How are
Hey,
you? What a
how are you?
pleasure. You know what?
Excellent, excellent.
I've been sitting there admiring you. Hold on, going, wait a minute. His shirt matches his mic. I
Hey,
just realized every time I see you, it matches.
Sally, we have to represent well. We have to make the optics look good too.
I was now going to I remember last time it was orange and it was all coordinated.
Hey, thank you, Sally. And I mean, we are so excited to have you, Sally. And also, we have with us Talal in the house. Hi, Talal.
Hello, everyone. Hi. Good to be here.
Hey, excellent, excellent. And not without further ado, let's get Audrey in the house. Hey, what's up, Audrey? Uh,
Hi, everyone. Hi. It's lovely, wonderful to be here and to see everybody.
Thank you
Really
so much. Thank
excited.
you. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So, what we're going to be doing the next few minutes is we're going to just take you all through the journey, what this represents for us, and what are the things that this can potentially bring to our community as a whole. And I'll tell you a little history before I bring Salian on. Normally, by the virtue of what I do, I travel a lot to conferences, to seminars, to meet the right people, to help our community to be better. And in one of my trips, I was in London and I met Sally Ann's team. And, everything I saw was just everything that I've always wanted, really. And when I got to meet Sally Ann personally, I realized, wow, this is it. This is it. She's the missing piece that I felt, the passion, the love, the desire to see people develop the capacity building side of things kind of just immediately drew me to her, the vision and the actual involvement in community, in building, in wishing to see others strive and succeed was just breathtaking. So I said, okay, you know what? I need to speak with her. We started this journey talking, and eventually we got into partnership. And I said, this is just amazing. So without further ado, Salian, I'd like you to just give us some insight about GLEAC, the journey, the story, and all the exciting things that GLEAC brings to Skillweed.
Absolutely. So first of all, I want to say, what a privilege it is to be on not your journey as a human being, to all of your people at and your wonderful team at Skillweed, and to all of your learners that now I get the privilege of being, and all of us over at GLEAC on their journey. So I want to thank you, first of all, absolute gratitude to be on that
Oh,
journey. What I would love to say to you when I speak about GLEAC is, I always talk about, when we talk about mentorship, I'm an island girl, right? So I always share this with everyone. My family comes from the Caribbean. And for many of us in different parts of the world with immigrant backgrounds, proximity matters. Proximity to what somebody who, we might look up to far and wide from different parts of the world, and we don't have relationships with them, but the closer they get to us, the more somehow that fire inside of us lights up, going, wait a minute, I can do that too. I can be that too. I can earn that too. And in building GLEAC, I think in my entire life, I always knew it didn't matter what you had, it didn't matter where you were educated. What matters is proximity to thoughts and people who can open doors. Opportunity and jobs come from networks. How to apply what we learn comes from people who have deep concept, deep context, deep insights, to be able to go, no, 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 you don't apply it that way. It's kind of like looking at a recipe and making it, and then going to your grandmother or someone from that country and going, how do you make that? And they give you all the secret sauce of making it, and all of a sudden it's way better. That's exactly what happens when you learn from people who are true experts, mentors, and coaches, and at the best at what they do. And I hope we can, do, I'm not actually hoping, I know we can do proud your learners and yourself and everyone in our community by going on this journey together over the next couple of months. So really excited about this, Akin, for all of us.
amazing, amazing, Salian. So, what do you say to that person that says, Salian, that I've always had all these dreams, I've always had all these insights, but I feel like you mentioned the proximity. What are the things you feel Glee can offer in terms of building relationship, network? Because I've seen the excitement the Glee team brings. Working together with your team, I can see even something as simple as a promotion. Every one of our team promotes within their social media platform, within their group. It's just amazing energy and excitement and connection and network. and it's just breathtaking. What do you say to that person that wants to also be part of something special?
Absolutely. So, there is that saying, our grandparents and our parents told us, show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are.
Mm,
And I always say, you are the average of the 5 people you hang out with, right? And I think if the learners and the community, if you utilize GLEAC well, you are going to be 1 degree away from some of the world's best people at the top companies around the world, or they are on their own at the top of their field. And we become the average of those
mm.
people we hang out with. So I'm giving you a whole new crew to hang out with. And
Love it.
that's what we do, Akin, right? So our
Yes.
community, and when you come in, when you onboard into the community, I always tell everybody, I'm like, did you check the contract well? You're signing for life. And it's this journey, and everybody kind of sits and, they stare at me and they're like, what's going on with this lady? But that's actually how we treat each other. That's our touch point with each other. Whether it is we have, the head of AI from NVIDIA, which is, one of the #1 companies in the world, to Nobel Peace Prize winners, to 23-year-olds who, climbed Kilimanjaro. There is this relationship of seeing each other at a human level and making sure that we stand together with each other on each other's journey. Different domains. It could be someone in blockchain, with someone in coaching, with someone
Mm.
in interdisciplinary, intergenerational. These are all the barriers, and you have access now to that.
I love that. I love the access piece of it. So another piece, Salian, I've seen is I like that somebody said, I love this comment. Somebody said, a community of communities. I love that. That is spot on. So one of the things I've seen a lot of people ask in our community is, okay, I'm a mid-level manager and I'm in cybersecurity, I'm in product, I'm in clinical research, I'm in AI, I'm in whatever field. And I aspire to be a VP in a Fortune 500 company. I aspire to be the best in real estate investment, the best in blockchain technology, sustainability, of any of those key areas. And I want GLEAC to kind of help me to shift my thought process. One, secondly, to connect me with community of communities. And I like what you said, one person away from a major break for us. So, what would you say to that person that says, hey, that's just my story right now? I'm kind of stuck and I need a
Absolutely.
connection. What do you say to me?
Absolutely. So, I would answer that in a couple of ways. So, one of the first things I always say to everyone is, do not limit the next version of yourself by
Mm,
your education and what you're doing right now. And I'm living proof of that, right? I studied law. I'm running a tech company, and AI and all kinds of things, right? So it's a mindset of saying, it doesn't matter what it is I've done so far. And you can get to the top of your game in whatever area. And you make that decision that I want to now start exploring. So it starts with curiosity, right? Curiosity is a hint.
mm,
Most of us ignore our curiosity, but curiosity is a hint of something inside of you going, take a look at that, take a look at that. And when you do take a look at that, you start bumping into different individuals from your regular circle. So again, I'm going to say proximity will matter. And what happens is, a lot of times when we are interested in something and we're curious, we might go online and take, an online course, and we come out with knowledge, but we don't know how to apply it, or we don't have a mastermind group of individuals, which, the community of communities, to be able
mm,
to go, well, how do I get from point F to point A to get me then to point B and C in a whole different trajectory? And that's where this beautiful community of communities, and I love that too, it allows you to talk to people who are going through that career navigation and career transition and career restarting, whether it is you're a 20-year-old, or we have 60-year-olds in our community figuring out what's the next version of
mm.
themselves going to look and sound like. And remember, we're always only ever in a version of ourselves, right? And that those versions should keep happening until your
Mm,
last breath, and it should be tall and wide and big all the time and
mm,
help you get there, Akim.
Amazing, amazing. So another question I get a lot, and I'm just getting the pulse of my community, what people have asked me over the years and over time, even as a mentor and a guide also in the past, is somebody says to me and say, okay, you know what? All right. I'm based in North America, yes. But one thing, at least I would say for us in North America, is that at times we think in silo and we think everything ends and begin with North America, right? Sometimes we get caught in that trap. That okay, I'm a Texan, right? We're in Texas. We love Texas. We love everything about, But sometimes we kind of limit our thinking and just be in a silo, thinking this is just it. What do you say to that person that says, you know what? I'm eager to expand my professional network because I know it's a global field out there, and I don't have the luxury of necessarily traveling all the world, but I want the opportunity to connect with other like-minded professionals to build my capacity. How does GLEAC plays into such a thing?
Why don't we have Audrey or Talal take that? Do you guys, one of you want
Okay,
to take that?
absolutely. Here we go. Audrey, your show.
absolutely, no problem. So, look, the world is smaller. It's getting smaller, and we're all connecting. And part of the story are the hard skills that you have, and the industry you live in, and work in, and the places that you live. And the other side of it is having those needs and wants to connect to other people and knowing how to do that effectively, and bringing the two together with soft skills and hard skills, and having that support structure around you so that you can build that network effectively and you can grow from it together is the key to achieving those things in your life that you really want. And those things should be different for everybody. And because they're different, they're built on different values and different constructs and different outlooks on the world. It makes you as an individual so much stronger and so much more. You just have so much more to offer your friends, your family, your work environment, and it's just it, it is one of the things that we get out of being a part of GLEAC and being a part of that network is daily getting those insights, those little dots of brilliance and excitement that make you sort of have that spark,
Yeah,
Amazing.
you know? Yeah,
yeah,
it's one
Amazing.
way to enjoy life.
yeah.
Awesome. I would like to see Talal's perspective also. What do you think, Talal?
Yeah, sure. Like I resonate with what Audrey is saying, but I would add to that that also like people around the world are also sharing certain concerns, certain matters, certain problems.
Mhm.
So maybe we do live in different parts of the world, but we do share certain, let's say, like I'm gonna come directly to it and talk about climate action, for example, where there are different countries around the world contributing differently to the problem, but we're all sharing the effects of it. And this can be not only for climate action, could be for multiple other aspects of the world that actually different perspectives from different regions can help us a lot on how to tackle these problems, how to address those needs.
Mhm.
What works for a startup in the US could be adjusted and adapted for something that is within the Middle East, for example. Could be modified and localized for I don't know, Asia, East Asia, and so on. So there are good examples and lessons learned from across the world. I
Mhm.
think it's our duty as people to look for these, uh, let's say, success stories, these insights. But we also need the knowledge and the interaction with other people. So, okay, how can I make this work for me and my community and the people around me? So I guess understanding what works somewhere else and how to modify it and how to make it applicable for you is where this is why I appreciate such a community, why I appreciate such minds that I can speak to and share these
Yeah.
ideas. So yeah, that's my
Absolutely. And Talal, I
perspective.
was just curious now that you said that too, that let me sneak into sustainability. And I know this is an area that is big for you. I mean, honestly, I didn't know too much about the, immediate effect recently. My mind is, I know sustainability is a buzzword we use and all that, but I just got to know that, with Gleek connection, no, hold on. That's probably one of the fastest growing field in the world, and the need is
Yes.
crazy right now. Tell us a little bit why some of us should also be connected, because when you're in leadership role or you aspire to be in leadership role, these are the things that people talk about all the time at a strategic level. So tell me, why is it important? Why should I care about sustainability in general?
Yeah. So sustainability as a word is like from different uh, perspective. So there
Yeah.
are certain sustainable business practices that needs to be done in a certain way for me to sustain my business from a profit perspective, from revenue generation, from customer relationships. So yes, that it's a huge word. Like usually
Yeah.
sustainability is, if we're thinking when it comes, we usually connect sustainability to green stuff.
Yes.
We think, okay,
Exactly. Yeah.
about tackling climate change. Why is it important for me as a leader in 2024 to know what I'm talking about when it comes to sustainability? Because okay, let's think of it. I'm gonna think about it from a purely business perspective. I can also talk about it from a person in society, part of a community leader as well. But let's think of it from a business perspective. I have a company in 2024. There are a lot of things that are impacting me as a business, from a climate perspective, from a geopolitics perspective, from a supply chain effect. All these aspects, my supplies, my resources, my whatever I use to make my material, to produce, how it affects my people, are all impacted by climate change. So for me, if I'm as a leader, I don't have the, I wouldn't say the complete understanding, but at least I have an idea or a vision about how to tackle such problems. I'm probably going to have a very short cycle of business, right?
Mm.
Look at how businesses got impacted, super impacted when it came to what happened during COVID. We're so dependent on huge concentrated supply of sources across the world. We're so dependent on China and certain countries that we completely disconnected about. Okay, what if this option is not there? What would happen
Mm.
to around me? And so imagine if like a flood impacts your suppliers and so on. So if you think it purely from a business perspective, sustainability makes you money, right? So
Yeah.
sustainability is quite essential for my business to survive, from how I deal within my community, and then I can take it to further aspects. So you should stop me where you want me to stop.
We will keep going for the rest of the night.
I like I could tell the passion, Talal is just, hey, man, this is me right now. Okay, one more question I would like to sneak in, Talal. So, okay,
Yes.
so from an energy green point of view, and even waste management, water, can you shed some light into why it's so important? Because a lot of people are saying, developing communities or areas, why is this so key to
Yeah.
impact a society from a water and waste angle?
Yeah, I would say it's quite straightforward. If you don't have water, clean water, that directly impacts anyone. So we're like tackling those needs that we need to survive as human beings. I manage water customers and support them to achieve like water utilities and so on. That impacts us as people surviving on these utilities. But the thing is, okay, I can talk it from an aspect of what's happening right now in the world when it comes to technologies. So right now we have a lot of work, a lot of funds being developed into climate mitigation. So we
Yeah.
have a lot of issues around us, from water scarcity. Unfortunately, let me give you a perspective from the Middle East,
Yeah.
where we have 12 of the 17 poorest countries when it comes to water globally. I come from a country that's Jordan. Unfortunately, we don't have water. That's basically it, and it's a matter of survival for us as Jordanians, and survival for people who are living in the Middle East. For us uh, to how to use our water, how to store it, and how to transfer it as well. All of these technologies and aspects that you have businesses survive around them are quite essential for our survival.
Mm.
So when I talk about sustainability, and it's not really a buzzword, it's a matter of making us survive. Let's say in the next 50 years, or
Yeah.
until we reach 2050, and for example, yeah, and then the other aspect of it is also adaptation. Unfortunately, not much funds or money are going into adaptation, which is quite important, and this is why we're speaking about communities. It's most of the funds are going into mitigation, how to mitigate, how to slow down the effects of climate change, but the climate change effects are already there. Yeah, so there are people impacted by floods, by
Yeah.
deforestation, people losing their livelihood around us, and not enough money is going into that, and not enough people are also coming up with solutions to tackle
Yeah.
such things, because okay, the VCs are not backing this up, the funds are
Yeah.
not there. And so we need business leaders and we need everyone to know about these issues, because these are also not only a matter of livelihood of the people, but it's also a business need that people need to tackle. So if
Yeah.
I know about this information, I know what I can do around it, and then I start connecting with people who are like-minded and so on. Maybe I have a startup founder, I can find my
Yeah.
co-founder, and then we can tackle that together. So this is the beauty of GLEAC. I can speak about things that I'm really passionate about,
Yeah.
and someone can ping me and talk about it with me, and maybe who knows, like
Yep.
tomorrow we'd have a startup solving a problem somewhere in the world, and I would be so proud of that. And this
Awesome.
is what I wish for me and the people around me.
Thank you so much, Talal. Amazing, amazing. So, excellent point. All right, Andrew, I'm going to put you on the spotlight a little bit. I know. So, from your experience in general, so what do you say to somebody that says, you know what, I have a passion. I want to begin the journey as a founder. And I know you've been a founder also, building a business and developing capacity. What would you say to that person that is a little bit nervous? They have all these ideas in the head, but minimal drive to execute. So, what do you say to me that, hey, I have all these ideas, I've always had ideas, but I just don't know how to execute? What do you say to me?
The first thing I would say to you is, what is the impact you're looking to make with your venture? Everything has to start with your impact, and that impact comes from your values. Once you know what the impact is, it's so much easier to then focus on what are the ways that you feel capable and confident to make that impact happen. And that's when you take a fruit bowl of ideas of really cool things you might want to do, and you start to narrow down what's truly motivating for you to work on. Being an entrepreneur is tough, right? Don't let anyone tell you anything different. It's tough. You
The
are,
hardest thing I've ever done, like
I'm
ever.
telling you, like nobody tells you this. Everyone says, "Oh, you can be an entrepreneur. Look at Elon. Look at all this." It's tough work. You are finance, marketing, operations initially, anyways. You are sales. If you're not used to sales, you have to have the motivation for your team. You have to have the motivation for yourself. You've got to get up
Mm.
every day and believe in what you're doing. And I tell you, when they say 80% of ventures fail, I think they fail because a lot of people say, oh, this is a great idea. I'm going to sell these really cool pens and I'm going to do something really different to it and everyone will want to buy it. And it's like, well, are you sure? Right? When you have that, when you have that deeper motivation, you do the work to make sure you're working on the right way to fix it, right? So that's when you find your product market fit. That's when you make sure you have the right team to support you. It just becomes more important for the survival as opposed to something fluffy that I'm just going to try this and make some money. So that's the first thing I would say is get real and get right with why and the impact or the impact and then the how of your
Mm.
venture. And then you build up the right team to support you and you start to look at, building that product or service.
Amazing. So, what do you say, Audrey? How do you get yourself motivated in those moments when things are just not working the way you kind of hope it will be? The product, the service, everything you thought the market had was just not ready for you. How do you pick yourself up and get going?
It's some days are better than others. There's no word of a lie to it. But the most important part of it all is having those skills where you can take a breath at times, where you can refocus, when you have your community around you that you can turn to and say, things just aren't working out for me and I don't know why. Being
Mm,
open to feedback, but not taking it necessarily as criticism, just looking at it as feedback and learning from other founders, team members, being critical. And everybody who has a business or starts a business starts from some sort of skill set, whether it's a
mm,
technical expertise or it's a um, product specific design or what have you. And but that alone can't take you everywhere, right?
mm,
Real founders also know how to communicate. They need to know how to communicate with their team. They need to know how to communicate with investors. They need to know how to communicate their wants, their needs, their frustrations in a way that doesn't damage their business or reputation, but
mm,
gets them the tools and supports that they need to move forward. They need to be empathetic, to build teams that have the right culture so that you can get through the rough times together. And
mm,
that's really important. It's super lonely. Like, unless you
mm,
have the right team, it's super lonely. But when you have that team, whether it's internal in your company or external by with communities like GLEAC and like other founder communities that I'm part of, that really helps to soften the blow at times. And you get to learn where some of your mistakes are being made so you can work on that and you can, persevere. Um, so yeah, that's what I would say. It
excellent.
really is a mind game.
Got it. Got it. So the other thing is, address. So for someone that says, you know what, that is my story right now. I'm just frustrated as a business, founder. How can GLEAC potentially help me and be a support for me in such an instance in terms of knowledge and connection? Well, what would you say to the person?
Sure. Look, in terms of knowledge, it's really hard as a founder or even as a rising leader in an organization to have all the technical skills that you need to survive in this day and age. I mean, we talked about AI, you can talk about other technology skills, then you start to get into the normal parts of running a business, right? Your marketing, your finance, your general management, your procurement, your supply chain, all of it. So once you have an idea as to where you're maybe lacking or where you need a bit more strength, the community is there to support. In terms of intellectually taking your ideas to the next level, the community is there to support. But stepping back from those hard technical skills, what makes somebody a, 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 um, a technical worker versus an intellectual visionary or someone who can take that technical skill to the next level are the
Yeah.
soft skills, are the ability to negotiate, the ability to communicate, the ability to collaborate effectively, to build teams, to get buy-in, right? If you work in a company, you need buy-in at all levels. And if
Yeah.
you own the company, you need buy-in. If you have stakeholders that are inside or outside of the organization,
Yeah.
trust me, you need buy-in, or you'll be by yourself and you'll be broke. So
Mm,
all of this together, when you look at the whole piece, because GLEAC has such a vast variety of skills and supports in one place, it's so much easier to tap into what you need as opposed to thinking, oh, I wish there could be someone somewhere who could help me with X, and then trying to go through your network, your own personal network, to
mm,
say, and some people are not comfortable to do that. They'll say,
mm,
well, I don't want so and so to know that I don't know this, or I don't want
mm.
someone else to think that I'm not strong enough. So here it's one community where, together we can um, recommend each other and really provide expert knowledge in those areas, not just any knowledge, but it's
Yeah.
coming from people who know their stuff, have been through
Yeah.
it, and can empathize with where you are to support you.
Thank you so much, Audrey. Amazing.
You're so
Excellent point.
welcome.
Thank you. All right. Salian, so I know you mentioned community of communities, and we being the best version of ourselves with the connection we have with other professionals that share the same mindset of growth. Everything begins with a mindset. What do you say to me how do I build my capacity, maximize my potential as a professional, what would you say GLEAC would offer me in general?
Hmm. So I think one of the first things would be being around, growth mindset, and ambition, and being around a lot of it. It's contagious, right? It's kind of like,
Mm,
the next COVID virus. And
mm,
being around those individuals, a lot of them, whether you want to or not, they probably will drag you by your hair and get you there somehow, with the contagiousness. So I think changing your scenery and changing your mindset, and being around people who are genuinely strong at what they're doing, passionate, not limited by where they're standing right now, right? They're,
yeah.
as I said, tall, wide, and large, regardless of where you are. You could not know anything about AI, and in the Gleek community, you can say out loud, by next year, I would like to be an AI expert in whatever, and somebody will raise their hand and go, okay, I'm your writing partner. How are we getting you there? Right. So, I do think you are in the right company, uh, for whatever that ambition might be. And if you're not sure where it is and you're just curious and you want to have sparring partners to figure out what that is, you're in the right place for that.
Mm.
Mm, I love that. So, ladies and gentlemen, we ready though? We need the right sparring partner. Let's make this happen together as a team. That's amazing. And let's leave some few minutes for questions and answers. Folks, go ahead and throw the questions out there. What you think this partnership means? What are the what's required in general? What do you think this would how this would support and help you? Let's make it like a Q&A so we can have more folks. Just type a question and I'll be happy to share those questions real quick. We just want to create some more time so we can address a lot of questions, so feel free to just go ahead. And one thing I love a lot is, believe it or not, all of us are in different part of the world. Let's start with Salian. I know you travel everywhere today. I'm in Saudi Arabia. I'm in UAE. I'm in Toronto. So everywhere. So what part of the world are you today? Let's start with that, Salian.
Well, today I'm in the UAE.
Okay.
And it's an exciting time for us right now in this part of the world, the UAE and Saudi. It's fast growing, uh, particularly Saudi. It's if you're familiar and if you're tracking the fastest growing countries in the world, other than, hold on, my Caribbean roots, Guyana is right there right now, which was my neighbor. But it's Africa and Saudi Arabia, right? And in Africa, certain countries in Africa. So these are the parts of the world with very young people. So about 60% or more is under 30. There are not a lot of systems and legacy, so there's all kinds of incredible opportunity out here in these parts of the world, to in technology and sustainability jobs and you name it, right? And we are also, and I will say this because I'm sure you have many of your learners, we are, this year was the first year we got some tax, but we were tax-free countries for a long time. So, all of the money we earned went into our pockets. And only this year, it's now kicked in just for corporates, a very
Yeah.
small amount of tax. So, the standard of living and the quality of living and the safety has been incredible out here in the Middle East region.
Amazing. And Salian, I know, GLEAC has helped nations. We don't need to, you don't want to go into the details of that, that's fine. And people to build leadership. One of the things I'm originally Nigerian, proud to be, and American also. And one thing that is big for us in Nigeria and Africa generally is, like you mentioned, the youth. We have a large population of youth right now. In some cases, there is a lot of high unemployment, and we're trying to see how we can actually bridge and build the right mindset for leaders. So let's say, what's your experience like in helping to build the right strategic thinking in terms of seeing the options in other communities, how they've grown from being um, really underdeveloped to being developed with a clean, clear strategy? What are some recommendations you can say, okay, you know what? These are some solid proactive measures or potential growth strategy for the younger population out there. What would be Give some examples, if possible, that you can share.
Sure. So I think a lot of times in these countries, a lot of the young people don't have a clear career navigation path. They don't know what is the 1 + 1 + 1 to kind of get to the three, right? They don't know what are the pieces to put together. So one of the things that we try to do, and we've been involved. I know you are aware of this with the YOMA, which is the UNICEF platform across Africa. We power the career navigation for that. So we
Yeah.
help young people to actually figure out based on their soft skills. So we really focus on the soft skills because here's the thing, hard skills can get you any job. Soft skills gets you the management and leadership jobs,
Yes,
right?
ma'am. Yeah.
And so we focus on surfacing their soft skills and doing career navigation on those soft skills of where they would be required most and what kinds of jobs. And clearly, of course, you're learning hard skills along with it, whether it's a class in cybersecurity or whatever it might be that is
Yeah.
being offered. But I think a clear path, Akin, and clearly, of course, we do it also with mentors, experts, and coaches, right? So if you don't have it live, we allow you to access the insights, which is the quality of thought when you do our learnings. We have little micro learnings.
Yeah.
We allow you to see how an expert mentor or coach would handle the exact same situation. Again, proximity. So proximity is key, whether it's in a live format, I have access to them like Audrey and Talal here, or in a, I just answered this question. I wonder how an expert would handle it. And we give you those answers and you look immediately and you're like, wait a minute, I didn't see that. What was that hidden
Hmm.
area or blind spot?
Got it. I got another question from Dave. Let me just post it real quick. How will the community make me a better person, especially in a transition phase from commercial banking to IT in general?
So I would say if you share that within the community, you would see a whole bunch of people raising their hand who probably have done that exact same journey or
Hmm.
probably have done some similar parallel journey
Yeah.
that is going to be very insightful and very helpful, right? And that's one of the things. I think if we have to be very honest today, everybody in the community or anybody in a job, I don't care if you've been in a job for 20 years or 30 years, the majority of people are in career transitions today with
Yeah.
all the new jobs that are happening, all the new skills that are happening. I don't think there's a single person who can say, I'm not in some form of career transition. It might be
Yeah.
completely out of what they're doing, but everybody's in career transition, right? There's no job security right now for any of us. So I think a lot of times we have when we've been at it for a while. So let's say Gen X, people between 43 and 58. There's a certain level of I'm shy, I'm shame, I'm embarrassed to tell people I don't know what my next move is, and
Hmm.
I'm going through this kind of career transition. And I think the community at GLEAC, you find psychological safety. It's a very safe space to be able to go, wait, listen, here's what's going on with me. And somebody else raises their hand and go, you know what? I also have that same thing. Let's have a chat. Let's have a huddle.
Hmm. That is
Mm.
amazing. That is really cool. Okay, so I think that addressed the question, Dave. Okay, what do you say to somebody again that says, okay, so you mentioned soft skills. This is a challenge. Fine, I can have all the technical skills, but for us to build the next generation of leaders, if somebody says to you today, you know what the heck, I'm 50 right now, I'm 45, I'm 40s. How can I still build a soft skill? Is it too late for me? What do you say to me?
Let me give Audrey that one.
Okay, Audrey.
Audrey that one. Let's give some Audrey. Let's
Yeah.
hear.
Look, it's never too late. If there's one thing that you are constantly growing and building, it's your soft skills. It's, you know, right now in the job market, we are seeing for the first time ever 5 generations of people working in the same organization, right? People are not retiring as fast as they have. And what does that mean? That means those 5 generations, all 5 of them, are learning how to communicate, how to negotiate, how to relate to each other in an environment where they've never had to do that before. hands down, and everybody either wants to keep their job, or they want to grow in their role, or they want to develop it. So all of these soft skills, the listening, the empathy, the negotiation, the collaboration, the general community, it's all shifting and changing, and everyone is consistently developing that. It doesn't matter if you're 40, 50, 60, we're all doing it together. And when you have the right environment in an organization, that becomes easier. But when you don't have the right environment in the organization, then you learn how to make the right alliances, collaborate together, and still grow and still succeed. So the soft skills are never ending, never ending. I mean, I've met people who have never had to negotiate because throughout their career, their path was maybe sitting in the back offices of finance. And then they, sort of wake up one day and think, I want to make a career shift. They have to go and negotiate with a recruiter that their skills that they knew in finance, they can now repackage them. They can create a new story around why they want to move and how they can contribute to the next role, and sell not the fact that they've done that job before, but that they have the skills, the transferable skills to be successful to that specific company, whatever it is that they're doing in whatever space, and that they're the right person to hire. And it's happening. It's happening faster than it ever has in the past, because employers also know we can train this person. They're trainable on the hard skills, but the attitude that they're bringing to our culture to support our business, this you cannot train.
Okay, one question, Andre, is what would you say, and I know it's different for everybody, what would you say is like top two soft skills as an entrepreneur we should strive towards?
As an entrepreneur,
Yeah.
top two. That's a tough one.
So it's very different from an entrepreneur to an individual.
It is.
It's very different.
So I would say, as an entrepreneur, if I think about myself and that the two companies that I've run and the one that I am currently COO of as well, the first would be systems thinking. The ability to be analytical over different departments and see the big picture of the impact you make in each of the departments. This is important because what you say to product development will affect your operations, which will affect your finance, which will affect customer service and customer experience and the whole gambit. Whether it's a B2B or B2C, it's irrelevant. That's the first. But if you can't communicate, no one knows what the hell you're talking about. You can't sell, you can't market, no one will buy your stuff and you'll be broke. So systems and analytical thinking and communication. I think if I have to say what are the top two that will keep you alive as an entrepreneur and not living in your parents' basement, those would be them.
Thank you. That was an interesting choice of word. I love it. Okay, thank you so much,
Keeping it
Andre.
real.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, another one, Talal, I'll put you on the spotlight here a little bit too, just to kind of so if you were to say as a professional for you in the area of sustainability and green, what are some soft skills that has helped you also in that space generally? What would your top, let's keep it consistent, your top two be? And I understand it's different for everybody, but we're just thinking generally that has helped you personally.
Yeah, so definitely in that specific space, I would say hard skills and your expertise are quite important. And especially you've mentioned that it's growing quite fast. So it's really important to know how to distinguish yourself. So to know exactly, Audrey mentioned communicate, but it's also how you brand yourself as an individual in that space. There are a lot of subsets of things within sustainability that I could become an expert on. And it's all about, she mentions communication again, it's all about knowing how to tell a story. So I could be into sustainability, specifically focusing on circularity, I myself work a lot in climate tech, so I have a lot of certifications. I have studied a lot. I'm an electrical engineer by my bachelor's. I work in that space my whole career so far. But what really distinguished me from others is knowing how to engage with different people, know how to tackle different needs and interests of others, and tell a story. Really, like it's a huge. We talk about impact and how we want to measure impact for businesses and what we want to do, but a huge part of becoming an entrepreneur, especially into the climate tech space or a sustainability space, is really storytelling.
Mhm.
Mm,
It's because you're tackling something like that really affects people's lives, and people on, let's say, people who are sitting in boardrooms. You need to know how to communicate that to them,
mm,
where it also translates into money, it becomes into businesses aspects and so on. But you need to move them in a way that they understand where you're coming from. So influence, I would say, having the ability to influence people can change your career.
mm,
That being on an internal level or with your customers. I work in sales. That's my job. That's what I do. So you need to communicate to different people from different backgrounds in a way where you need to capture your audience, make them believe in your product, whatever you're
mm.
selling, who you are as a person, brand yourself as a person, and use that for the benefit of the world. What you stand for, what are your values. So I would say branding, storytelling, knowing how to distinguish yourself within that space, because a lot of people could get those certificates, but get those certificates, go study, take a year focusing on that specific thing, get that hard skill, but not a
Yeah.
lot of people would know how to make the most out of it. And that's the beauty of the community. You're looking at people who each one of them has uh, built some sort of a persona within that space. People who are talking about sustainability, starting companies in sustainability, specifically on circularity, specifically on climate tech, and so on. But also people who have come from a low background and now starting companies in AI and so on. So it's like
Awesome.
how you distinguish yourself, use the skills that you have built, but in a way to make people believe in you. I think
Mm.
that's quite important. You need to really think about how you brand yourself, who
Yeah.
I want to be around, who I need to listen to.
Thank.
Sustainability, talk about sustainability. Right now we're in a space where sustainability, when it comes to Gen Zs as well, sustainability has become some sort of a lifestyle as well.
Mm,
So even for me now, someone who's talking about sustainability, I'm getting judged about how I'm drinking stuff, or am I using
mm,
plastic, or what am I
mm.
wearing. This product is not sustainable. So it's all about storytelling, even when it
Yeah.
comes to whatever you're wearing, who you are as a person, and what you use. So yeah, just keep that mindset within you, that the way you interact with people and
Yeah.
tell a story is really, really important to whatever you do in your career.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Tala. And I know we have 5 more minutes. Thank you, everybody. Salian, any parting words on why? Why should I join a program and a network like this?
I think we're a time in the world where everything is, we're questioning everything right now, particularly with AI. Our jobs, our next move. Am I going to be relevant 3, 5 years from now? And I think if there is any time where you want to not be alone, it's now. We
Mm.
are alone learning online most of the time, right? So as much as we went digital, it became very lonely. And having people and your whole ecosystem around you, that's where you're going to get your jobs, that's where you're going to learn, that's where you are going to, on the days where you just want to, hold on, feel sorry for yourself and eat chocolate, you have those people cheering on, kind of going, come on, you can do it. I think those clearly, and you know, and clearly there are the ones about, you know, we want to earn a living, right? We
Yeah.
want to elevate within our jobs. All of those things matter, but I think on the human level, there's no time like now to surround yourself with
Mm.
strong people and up your average by being around the best people, right?
Wow.
And that would be the number one reason I would say to you: if you are with the right people, you will get to where you need to go, right? They always say, right
Yep.
people on the bus, the bus will go in the right direction, and
Right.
that's what this does for you.
Thank you so much, Salian. And I'll say this, as we all know, we are only as good as the average of the five people around us. We want to surround ourselves with the best the world has to offer, people that have the same vision and like-minded as us. So this is the time for us, folks. Let's work together. For us at Skillweed, it's always been a live mission to mentor people with the right skills, with the right people, to increase our network of communication connection all over the world. This is the best platform, and I look forward to having you around. Contact us on the number there on WhatsApp 469-554-9739. We can always get you more details. We have limited space for this mentorship cycle kicking off June 22nd. So we're excited about it. So we have a group already created. Feel free to join that group on WhatsApp. I send that link already, and I'll copy it again just so that you can have access to it. If not, just contact us and we'll put you in the right place. Let's make your vision be a reality. And I look forward to seeing you all. Thank you so much, Salian. Thank you,
Thank
Talal.
you.
Thank you, Andre. You all are
Thank
awesome.
you.
And thank you, community. Thank you, team. As always, before you all go, you guys are going to dance out to our theme song. We're going to boogie out a little bit, folks, if you don't mind. Let's go.
Where dreams belong.
Yeah, I'm seeing you, Talal. You know, you can
I'm
keep nodding.
trying. I'm trying as
You
much
can
as I can.
you can nod the head too.
It's a little Arabic dancing.
Thank you, everybody. It's a delight, folks.
Bye.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much, Talian. Thank
Bye,
you. I
everyone.
appreciate it, Audrey. Thank you,
Appreciate
Talal.
it. Thanks for
Thank you,
having
everybody.
us.
God bless.
Shine, shine. Skillweed Academy. It's your time. Oh, oh, feel the drums pulsating, the energy so strong. Join the movement where dreams belong. From Lagos to Nairobi, hear the call. Skillweed.